Good evening, folks. I hope you can all hear me. If you can't, well, tough shit. Okay, it's being recorded. I've been told to loosen up. Here we go. Strap yourselves and saddle up. Okay. So, I don't know what we're talking about today, but we'll just go right ahead. This afternoon, and if you're in DAObi chat, you know this is true, I was talking about the Trump. And I was wondering why he did not meet up with his friend, Nigel Farage. And he met up with Bobo, my favorite girl, Bojo. And didn't meet up with Farage, but met up with Boris Johnson, who is not an MP, not in cabinet, just a nobody really, an influencer with his minder wife Carrie, and allegedly. And what's going on? And I said this is 1739 at my time. I said, anyone getting the feeling that his minders are distancing him, Le Trump, from any kind of dissident movement. And also the insult against El Salvador, which was a scripted insult. It wasn't some gaffe. He was talking. He was reading the teleprompter. It was a read. And then cut to, and I should probably tag the tweet. I should probably tag tweet. Because it turns out this is by AF Post. I guess what's AF? I don't know what that is. Okay. Mike Cernovich, our very own Cernovich, says, quote, the Never Trumpers are convincing Trump to kick out his, quote, most loyal staffers by disavowing some fakakta project. I don't know what's going on, but it's enough for me that it is now out there. People are beginning to recognize that some staff changes have taken place. He's being given advice from a different faction. And I think, for me, the canary in the coal mine for me was the fact that when Farage won his seat, Trump actually congratulated him. Now, there's been this horrible incident at the start of the week. Farage has flown to America to visit him, and he hasn't seen him yet. And that's very suspicious. It's giving sus vibes. It's giving blink twice if you're in danger. Something's going on. And Mike Cernovich, if you can hear me, I'm sending out a call now. Join the chat. Tell us what you think. Maybe I should tag him. That might work. Hold on. Let me just, hold on. Let me, okay. Everyone just comment. Anyway, welcome to my space. If you would like to speak, please explain your reason for wanting to speak, and I may give you, thingy. Look, I can share tweets on the space now. Isn't that cool? If you pull up the space thingy, you can see tweets. You should be able to see tweets that I've shared. Please. Anyone? Did it work? Can you see tweets that I've shared? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that's me. That was my original tweet from today. Now I'm going to share the AF Post tweet. I guess today I just want to talk about friends and people, having to keep people on side to win things and everything. So, no, not from Rules of Chime. Cause, this week, what was I going to talk about? I was going to rerun last week's topic, which was about performative politics, which we can still get into. Because I did promise Edward that I would talk about, how North Korea is basically a Confucian kingdom. But there are other things that have happened since, shootations have happened and outages have happened. You know what I realized is that if you think about Corona lockdown being kind of like, and not to be a Dune bug or anything, if you think about the lockdown as kind of like the Leto the second's thingy where he locked everyone in their home planet and then that made everyone go crazy and scatter everywhere. You think about the Corona lockdown as being that, and then you think about this CrowdStrike thing as a kind of a Butlerian jihad. We're technically living in a very boring version of Dune. And people are fighting in a desert. Like, it works out. Okay, now let's see. AF, when did he say this? Here we go. 9 hours ago. I guess I can't really claim that I came up with this. Okay, there's the tweet. Go have at it. Come on, go up. Go up. Where is it? Okay. Are we gonna wait for more people to show up? I guess there really isn't any reason. Whatever. So, as we all know, early in the week. Oh, we should talk about the what's happening in England, right? Because of the fucking riots and everything. Whew! Listen, more trouble for my enemies. You know what I'm saying? Am I too Schmittian? That's what the group has told me before. Too Schmittian, too eager to draw lines in terms of friends and enemies. Because that's how I view the whole world. If you're not, if you're not helping, you're part of the problem. I say it as a kind of a George Bush joke, but it's kind of true. So we'll get to that in a minute. Early in the week, post shutation, the ebullient, the unsinkable lips of TikTok started gunning for certain people to lose their jobs. And some people got really upset about that. Some people decided, no, we're too good for this. We shouldn't be doing that. We should be better. We should have standards and mass. And she and her supporters, including I, are of the mind that, well, the other side isn't necessarily invested in terms of engagement, so it's kind of one-sided to engage in them yourself. So, no, thanks a lot, but no thanks. And we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know. I was told that, because I made the argument about Lips of TikTok, that she doesn't need these kind of external virtues. She doesn't need these external thingies to define who she is, because she knows who she is. That's basically what I said. And I was told that that's a very Confucian thing. Can anyone else confirm that? Can anyone else confirm that having internal morals is an explicitly Confucian thing? But then isn't having external morals also a Confucian thing because of the whole ritual aspect? Does that mean that technically everyone's a Confucian? That having any kind of standard just makes you one? And the only way to not be a Confucian is to just be in a state of free and easy wandering forever. Doesn't seem practical to me. Doesn't seem healthy. I don't see how we're going to win any battles either. Catcher, you do realize that if it's just you. For those of you listening in the future, at this very moment, it's just me, the Unit bot, and Catcher. And Catcher, you do not, okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Catcher, you do realize that if you're the only person listening, I will just be subtweeting you the whole talk. It's like I'm talking in general to the future conversation, but in my mind, I'm really just talking to you, and you're my captive audience. Okay. He has written a message in the chat, and it says, all dogs have 4 legs. All cats have 4 legs. Ergo, my dog is a cat. I'm just saying, I was told that having principles makes you Confucian. Sadly, the one who made that remark isn't here right now. Maybe they're asleep, I don't know. Do I have to look this up now? God, painful. For those of you listening in the future, I apologize. Let's see. Is having principles inherently Confucian? We have Confucians in chat. Why don't we just tag them? Sorry, excuse me. That wasn't me. That was the chair. hold on. Let me just. First I should put the Discord invite as per usual. As per usual. For those of you who are not on our Discord, it is terribly exciting because we have a whole bunch of people now, and one of our more effervescent members has rejoined. His name is Gao. Very exciting. Okay. What was I looking up? Oh yeah, I was gonna look up some Confucian people to maybe chime in with stuff and everything. So actually Solzy says it did have some words to say. We'll look him up, then we'll go to Edward's stuff, talk about North Korea, talk about Sage Kings. It's gonna be a whole thing. Lots of fun. Solzy says, is that how it's spelled? Solzy _ says. No, not sex. Everyone just talk amongst yourself while I. Okay. Oh look, he's got a new graph. The trifecta running through Chinese philosophy. Heaven, order, and the Tao. What about the Buddha? Let's see. Which one was it? Haha. Is it the juicy hot take? It is. It is indeed. North Korea. So this is what Solzy says. I suppose I should tag this in the chat as well. North Korea's supreme leader is, in more correct words, the ideal Confucian sage king, the realized dream of Juzi, where the paragon of virtue acts as father to the people, and the people feel filial affection and obligation to him. It is a little bit of a meme between me and my liege, Bones of LaSalle, also known as the Mad Monarchist, that North Korea is basically just a kingdom at this point. Like, they don't use the same words, but it's basically an absolute monarchy. It has it all. It has the state, it has the family, the dynasty, the stability, the lack of material craziness that everyone else is subject to. So does that mean that the Sage King is also a Christian absolute monarch? European absolute monarch, not necessarily Christian. Let's read the text. The emphasis on individual effort doesn't preclude the need for a morally charismatic leader. Okay. Morally charismatic? Does it have to be morally? Salient in both Neo-Confucianism and Juche is the need for a special leader who is expected to be the paragon of virtue that one could emulate. Isn't gluttony technically an unvirtue? Toegie and Yugok believe that the king must be the living embodiment of the ideals of sagehood. That feels like a stiff order, though. I mean, what if you end up with a crazy prince? As a Buddhist and a monarchist, I advocate orthogonal monarchy. I guess some people would call it ceremonial, but I'm not necessarily invested in the king having zip power. I'm more concerned about the king being seen as separate, parallel to the system used by the bureaucracy. Meaning the bureaucracy can be legitimized by democracy, can be legitimized by the monarchy itself, it can be legitimized by an aristocracy, whatever it may be. It can be a big one, a small one, a non-one, doesn't matter. The king is the king is the king. And that's just running parallel. It can combine sometimes, but ultimately it's two different branches. That's me and my thing. Just full disclosure, but here we go. Endowed with the moral social responsibility and virtue of the power and influence they had, the commoners in turn had the responsibility of dutifully following their leader as well as owing excellence to each other. This feels like a lot. The North Korean cult of personality too leads citizens to see their leaders as an embodiment of moral excellence. Is that symbolic or is that literal? Comrades owe loyalty to the leader and excellence to each other, seemingly achieving what was only a dream. Prominent Chinese neo-Confucianism. The founding of a society where the ruler would be a father towards his subjects would be the personal obligation towards them. Of course, the relationship between Confucian sages and commoner is very different from the relationship between Juji's supreme leader and the masses. Is it different, or did you just say that because you wanted to feel a little bit better about making them sound exactly? Hold on, let me find the tweet though. Everybody just talk amongst yourselves before I finish the text. Isn't it lovely to be able to just read a text and pretend like you're adding to what you're reading? Oh, okay. Let me just find the tweet. It's been shared in the thing. You can read it now. Both share the need for a moral exemplar, and once we compare the Neo-Confucian Joseon king to Juche's supreme leader, the similarity grows. I feel like that's a similarity you'll find in any sort of religion-based absolute monarchy. Both are uncontestable political leaders who are expected to be morally exemplary. Both exist within socio-political systems where loyalty to the leader is the utmost civic virtue, and both do not leave much room for the individual to diverge from what the leader deems appropriate. Here's a question. Is the Singapore Prime Minister also technically a Sage King? Chime in chat. So then, do you have to be a moral exemplar to be a moral exemplar, or is this during the reading live? I'm just saying, I need help. I didn't do the reading. I know I said I would do it 2 weeks ago. Okay. I shall mind your tweet. Yeah. Oh, he knows I'm going to mind his tweets. I should just read them all. Yes. Catcher says, oh, you're lucky, as the one person on this server who has a view is on today. You mean you, right? Or do you mean Edward? Could be both of you. I also have a view. But just chime in. I think the expectation that your leader be well behaved is a natural expectation. I don't know if it's a fully reasonable expectation. That is the one thing that makes me differ from the rah-rah absolute monarchists who want a cool king to be only answerable to God or his conscience. And I'm a bit Chinese. I'm Chinese enough to go, maybe not such a good idea. And I'm Buddhist enough to say, well, you can have that if the king is good, but you should also have a system which doesn't rely on the king being good. Maybe the king can be a mess. Sometimes people are messes. The fundamental gift for me when it comes to monarchy is stability, and that doesn't rely on the king making any decisions. It doesn't even rely on the king being smart. It just means the king has to exist. And so that's the only part I care about. If him making decisions means the system is destabilized, then it should be removed. I'm not invested in the king being absolute, in his authority. Absolute in his position, not in his authority. Let's see. Edit a research view. Okay. Owu says, the fact that the population owes absolute loyalty to its leader does not by itself mean the leader is a Confucian sage. That is true. That can just be a dictatorship. Fidel Castro, his son Justin, same thing. Catcher says, Singapore tried to impose the sage philosopher king construct, but the provenance is a bit suspect. What? Wait, did they actually try that? That's hilarious. The philosophical underpinnings are a bit suspect. Definitely not really crucial. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't like it when people say it's legalist, because I don't know, is it part of the canon that LKY was legalist? Because I feel like you can interpret some of what he did as legalist. I don't know if he really was. I feel like there's two different things. I feel like saying lips of TikTok is Confucian is also just free interpretation. I don't think that she necessarily is Confucian. I think she's Jewish. Asian values. Exactly! We need to retire that word, by the way. Asian is a word that means nothing. Filipinos call themselves Asian. This is being recorded, by the way. So if I get in trouble for anything in this recording, it is being taken down. There's a thread by Ed about this. Oh, is there, Ed? Can you please share it in chat? Go to your tweet, Eddie. Do me a favor. Go to your tweet and share, and then it will say DAObi space, and then click on DAObi space, and it will be shared in DAObi space, and we can all see it. I literally was like crashing on the barbarics spaces, and I thought that you could do this. Very cool. Oh, there it is. I'll just link it from there then. Hold on. Okay. Do Asian values exist? I mean, there's like 100. There's like hundreds of us, right? I don't see how it can be a thing. I mean, I don't feel like I share any values with, you know. Okay. Okay, hold on. Woo woo. Woo woo. Every day I walk out of the office and there's a tree in which crows nest nearby. So of course coals, so sidebar, crow's nests, and coals of course lay their eggs in crow's nests, a la cuckoo birds. And so you hear the coal when it does that, and it is dreadful because it just goes ooh. Okay. We'll start with these two. Okay. So what are we talking about? Asian values. Okay, here we go. I mean, I hope the answer is just no. The prevalence of thieves was so. This is a Confucian quote. Oh wait, we have a new arrival. Oh no. Okay. If anyone wants to speak, you may request. Not that stupid. Thank you. Sorry. Okay. Sidebar. Someone has just agreed with me in chat that the coal is a stupid bird. It is a stupid bird. It only does that at dawn and at twilight. When you are just like you are either just waking up or overstimulated, and it goes ooh. And it looks like a giant minor bird, and I hate minor birds. Right? Chat agrees with me. Thank you. Okay. Confucian Classics said, which by the Confucian Classics at Unwobbling Pivot is run by Cheshire Ocelot, who's in our gang. So, do you want to be my gang? Oh, speaking of my gang, I see that Aesthetic Fanatic has secretly left DAObi. He promised me that he would stay. That I'm not happy. Mm-hmm. The prevalence of thieves, says the master, was a source of trouble in Zhi, who asked the advice of Confucius. The master answered, "If you yourself were not covetous, no one would steal, even if there were a reward for stealing." Is that like practical advice? Like, what's the context of that? Like, you just have to not steal and expect everyone else to not steal too. If you read Singaporean constitutional law books, says Edward, there are references to the fact that strict checks and balances are necessary because of the Asian tradition of government by honorable men. Honorable. The authors of the books were not truists, but they were onto something. As with all things, should I read this in an Edward voice? What would be an Edward voice? Would he have like a Tory accent? Like an Etonian accent? I feel like that would be accurate. As with all things, one can give counterexamples. Nearly every apartment in Singapore has a metal gate placed over their wooden door, like the one shown below. That's not a Tory accent, that's a BBC accent. The fact that English houses whose doors face the street lack this defense is surprising to Singaporeans. I wonder if anyone has written a survey of the uses of Confucian concepts in Southeast Asian politics. If anyone would direct me to such an analysis, would be most glad. And then he quotes a bunch of people. And then Solzy says, isn't it more just Singapore rather than Southeast Asia? Yeah, it kind of. Well, as someone whose provenance is the south of the southern bit of well, actually, is my provenance the south? Okay, let's say I lived in the South Pole, okay, and of Malaysia, and people there tend to be quite paranoid about safety, and they do the gate thing as well. I'd be interested, says Solzy, in tracing this sort of policy to philosophy too. I've always assumed Singapore was more legalist, but Confucian thought gets embedded into law and doesn't necessarily look much different, both like order. Yeah, kind of feel like they both like order. Edward says, that's the thing. The state there at least projects the idea of being Confucian. Lee Kuan Yew's Asian values is, if I recall correctly, largely Confucian, and the Singapore Chinese cultural center's list of Singaporean Chinese values is very much Ruist. Some of the values that make up our Chinese Singaporean identity are loyalty, filial piety, kindness, love, considerate, shouldn't that be consideration, and righteousness. The irony is, of course, that Ruism is not a recognized religion in Singapore, whilst Daoism certainly is. Ironically, Indonesia recognizes Confucianism as a religion, although that's kind of like in Malaysia, all Chinese people are Buddhists. It's just because it's a foreign religion in power there, they can't be bothered to explore the intricacies of the Chinese melange. While Taoism, and funnily enough, what we call Taoism is closer to a folk religion than actual Taoism. The oldest stratum of Taoist texts are quick to criticize. I only know the first word is Jin, and I don't really know what the rest is, as being the results of the generation of the Tao. For more of me ranting about this auto-orientalization and how eldritch shamanic polytheism is a better description of Chinese culture, be below. Yes, that's what I was saying. Basically just Chinese. Oh, I see requests to speak. If it's someone I don't know, you have to justify yourself in chat. I apologize. Oh, do I know you? Okay, I've approved you. Okay, now let's see. Let's read the comments. Sorry, that thread I maybe shouldn't have. That was cheating, but whatever. Okay, we'll go back to Catcher's comment about this. What Singapore tried to impose. Is there holistic infinite Asian values? That stupid bird. That stupid bird. If I recall, Edward is pro-court. He is indeed. Honorable. Of course, they are halfway to Ruism. Yes. I mean, the debate was honorable men versus Madison's angels. Holly Madison, I think? In one of the assigned readings on constitutional law. The upper class twat voice. Oh, you did? Oh, you guys didn't like it? I didn't know it was being downvoted. Did I get down dudes for that? I apologize. I'll do another one. It's Confucian, so no real need for elections. Yeah, I'm anti-election. I don't think, whenever you see people be like, are you saying you don't want women to have the vote? You sexist. And I'm saying, I don't want anyone to have the vote. Is that terrible? Like, I don't feel my life has changed with my vote. It's Confucian, so no real need for elections, but it's legalist in that everyone should follow rules. I agree. Oh, you meant rules in the lowercase. Even the leaders, very schizo as usual. Auto-orientalization. Right, DCAM? We were both thinking of that. We were both thinking the same thing. We both need therapy. Oh, also, I see the XYCB joining has got a whole bunch of people joining. Thank you very much. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. You missed the whole first bit when I was ranting about Trump and lips of TikTok, kind of. So Is Singapore sage kingly?
Haven't we done this before?
Done what?
The whole is Singapore legalist or Confucian thing.
Well, did we record it? Well, no one knows that we did it, so let's just do it again. I don't recall what the answer was, by the way. Are you bored of it?
We have to. Yeah,
okay, well, what's the answer? Yes or no? Well, what's the answer? Yes or no? I'm just trying to, I'm just trying to figure it out. Because we're supposed to talk about North Korea.
Obviously, it's legalist pretending to be Confucian, like everything else.
But is it even consciously so? Because I kind of feel like it's incidentally.
I don't know. Does it matter?
I feel like it decides the trajectory. I like to know where this is going. What about North Korea? That's how this whole thing started. Oh, you don't have an opinion there? Okay.
I don't know. I feel like Salza is so disgusted by American women, he is willing to embrace anything, any country that has small, polite, and dainty women, including North Korea.
North Korea's small women.
Possibly not the Hokkiens. You might draw the line there.
Okay. Well, hey. We will not be insulting the noble races. Yeah. Anyway. Singapore is legalist. Okay. I'm just saying sometimes things are worth revisiting when talking about other states. Is North Korea Confucian? I don't know. It is an absolute monarchy, though. We'll give it that.
Yeah, I think North Korea is Confucian.
Ugh. Dreadful. I mean, look, I'm not anti-North Korea. I think that compared to the rest of us, I don't think that they had a CrowdStrike failure, by the way. I think they just carried on their day just like me. I just didn't even know it was happening.
I think the OS is a Linux knockoff, so they probably didn't have.
Although I hear that Linux
OS is.
I hear that Linux has been affected as well. I saw Spandrel molding about this in chat. So, allegedly, Spandrel, if you're listening to this in the future, I apologize. I love you. Please follow me back. Again, I don't know why he unfollowed me. I must have said something. I don't know what I said though. I didn't know he was reading my tweets. Okay. So, what are we talking about? First person to say I'm correct all week. Yes, North Korea. I think it's an absolute monarchy. Is that necessary to Confucianism? Does Confucian sage kings? I know the word king is there, but does it need to be a monarchy? Is that necessary? Is it possible that you can have that but not be a monarchy?
I think that it's Confucian in the sense that the powerless get fucked and have no recourse.
Oh my god, but what's the downside?
The emblem of Confucianism.
Oh my god, but is there a downside to this?
If it was legalist, they would have some recourse.
Yes.
You're
saying that's a bad thing. Okay. Okay. Well,
in a Confucian system, they just have to take it.
Can she not hear? Okay. Decam says, I'm getting therapy. Hold on, everyone stop talking. Decam says, I think Spandrel unfollows people because he doesn't want people replying. He unfollowed me for doing too many replies. I need to apologize to him in a reply. Oh, I guess that's counterproductive. Anyway, if we can all do a collective prayer that Spandrel psychically detects, I can tag him in chat. Oh no, that's also a reply. What's a way of communicating with someone that doesn't involve sending a reply? Oh, I can DM him. Oh no, we'll think about it. Okay. So, speaking of Confucians and legalists, and now the XYCB, did she quit? Okay. Well, we'll pretend she's still here. Because for those of you who missed the chat on Wednesday, we were talking about the Lips of TikTok, Fist Up by Folklore, Alaric the Barbaric drama, where Lips of TikTok was trying to get people fired, and then Fist Up by Folklore was like, no, you can't do that, that's wrong. That's bad wrong. Badong. And then Alaric was like, do you want to win or do you want to lose? And so, right? Okay, hold on. Okay, back to therapy. Edward has just revealed that he's being followed by whom? By Spandrel. this is not right. This is not right. I mean, you can follow Edward, but you also have to follow me. Now I'm just sad. Anyway, so we're talking about that, and then at some point I mentioned, I just said this, I'm repeating myself, that, I think that something cool about Lips of TikTok is that she knows who she is, and so she doesn't necessarily have to rely on ritualistic behaviors like pretending to be good, having principled action. She's able to kind of fight according to the fight, fight in different ways and stances and tactics depending on what the fight is, because she knows who she is. And I was told by XYCB, and I hope she rejoins soon, that that is a Confucian thing where you know yourself, and so that's like somehow the person is super duper importante. I don't know if that's Confucian. I mean, I was more focused on the willing to do whatever it takes to win part, and isn't that a legalist thing where you just do whatever it takes? So I guess we're kind of focused on two different sides of the picture I've drawn, which is because she knows herself, she can do whatever it takes to win. So I guess the Confucian side of that is that there is a very specific trajectory and that who she is super important to this picture. On the other hand, outwardly, she is willing to do whatever it takes to win, and therefore, I would say that that's a legalist doctrine. Maybe we're back to doing Han Dynasty therapy. I don't know. I'm now traumatized. I am Spandrel. Someone tag Spandrel. Someone called that, and I can't say the word I was gonna say, but we recorded, so I have to be nice. And tell him, I assume it's a guy, why won't you follow me? Because I love you. Okay. I don't know. Mencius Mo Bakmun followed me on my alt before I deleted it, and I think that's very cool. Maybe they're the same person. Aren't they both in the same country? Okay, whatever. Anyway, Edward says, does he hate his mental health so much that he would damage it by listening to me screaming disgusting old content? Edward, have you noticed that we're all, in health-wise, we're all kind of in the same place? Outwardly, I'm not saying I don't want to diminish anyone's personal lived experience. However, I would say that in a general sort of sense, we are all unshockable. That's where the joke comes from. Nazis, autists, gays, because all three groups are unshockable. And I guess we can add DAObiLanders to that. Okay, Decam says he knows a funny bit when he sees one. It's like someone who collects retinues of capable people, but one of them is a jester. Why can't we be the jester? Why can't I be the jester? Can I put that out there? Why do we have 9 people? Oh, 2 of them is me. Request to speak by XYCB. Thank you for rejoining us. I don't know if you heard my diatribe about you. I said Lips of TikTok. You said that I said that Lips of TikTok was something that would be classified as Confucian. I do gather now that Confucians have this thing about naming rectifications and stuff, but I don't. Okay. Look at all these cool people who joined us today. We have got Jay Yang. How you do, Jay Yang? Machiavellian Hindu. What's up? We have a guy called Agapo here. Hi, Agapo. I can say hi to all of you individually because, once we hit 50 people, I'll just be like, hi, bro. Misha and Ayur. Snake Obir. Okay.
Okay, when did I cut out? When did my mic drop?
What was the last thing you heard?
The last thing I heard was me talking about why North Korea is Confucian.
Ah, yes. And then I saw that you dropped out because I switched over to Lips of TikTok and our chat on Wednesday. And you were saying that I was describing Lips of TikTok as a person, Che Rachik. And then you said that that's a very Confucian way of describing her.
No,
that she has her own mind.
I think your take on her is that she's a virtue ethics person, and my take is that she isn't.
Oh yeah, well I don't think she's a virtue ethics person either. It's so funny because I was actually saying that she wasn't, that I think Fister by Folklore is, but she isn't. She isn't concerned about fighting a specific way or presenting herself a specific way. I think she's just doing whatever it takes to win. Because she knows that's how it works. But I also did say that she can do that because she knows who she is. I think you were saying that, well, saying that second part, that's virtue ethics. Is that true? Am I understanding your statement correctly?
Yes.
That,
Yes.
yeah,
That
okay.
second
So
part.
like, okay. Yeah, that's what I was describing to the chat, that I painted this picture, this sort of dual layer picture of her, and you were saying that second layer where she knows who she is in air quotes, that's virtue ethics, that's Confucian, because somehow the trajectory, what she intends to do, the morality of her becomes an issue. Whereas I'm focused on the external bit, and you would as well, I think, that because she's willing to do whatever it takes to win, that's more legalist. That's more Taoist, I guess, like just do whatever, if it works, do it. Don't question it. So, I don't know, I guess, how Confucian would I say is she? I mean, I guess until I saw that there was a line she wouldn't cross, and I'm sure she has one, but more in a general human sense and not a virtue ethics sense.
Yes, well, I think both virtue ethics and utilitarianism require to have some sort of ideal beyond the self, which she doesn't have, essentially. Her goal is her own
her corner.
hype.
Her corner, that's what I said. Yeah.
No, not even her corner. It's her own self-promotion.
Okay. So okay, sorry, not to put you on the spot. Yeah, I guess you don't have to answer because I don't want you to feel like you're being put on the spot. What do you think of Lips of TikTok or Chairachik as a person or phenomenon? Like, you can answer either or both or neither if you. I don't want to put you on the spot because it's recorded. I don't want to put you on the spot.
Yeah, she's entertaining.
Okay, but do you think that she's worth promoting or supporting? Or did you just think, whatever?
Well, I don't have a dog in the fight between left and right. Like I say, my perspective is that this is a fight between people who think that complaining to HR is a good tactic for adults to be using regularly, and people who don't.
See. So you're waiting for a battle that you feel is worth commenting over. All right. Yeah. All right. Okay. Back to comments. Catcher says, is DCAM saying that rules is not good enough to even be a jester? I'm molding over the Spandrel thing, but someone call him. Says DCAM, I think Spandrel is also careful to respect other high-profile people. He knows his brand, and he doesn't want plebs in his follower group to infest another respectable person. Is that me? Am I the problem? I don't think I'm the problem. Maybe I am. Am I the fly in the ointment? I don't think I'm the fly in the ointment. I mean, his brand is, quote, speak openly and sometimes do WYB and other raunchy stuff. Then Lips of TikTok could turn into a proper polemist, but I don't think she writes that well. I mean, her thing is really just the woke capital thing, which is to retweet stuff that other people were writing about. I do consider her the heir to a woke capital. The whole thing about that was just to be like, here's what's being said that maybe you missed. That's the whole thing. So it's not necessarily high art there. I do think sometimes you do need to call attention to these things. I do want to represent that this is not a point that people agree with, and I will look it up now. He's not here tonight, so I'll just read his comments. If any of you feel you have a tweet that you want to add in contrast to what I'm saying, to support what I'm saying, you can share tweets in the space. Go to the tweet that you want to call attention to, share it, and then click DAObi's space and you can share it. I'll be able to see it. Let me see, from who normally appears here as NHP Rosenberg, because I had a discussion with him. It got a little bit sidetracked because we began to talk about the value of Lips of TikTok, which was not my intention, but it is still a useful thing. He's not here tonight, so I wanted to bring up what he had to say about Lips of TikTok. And we got into a thing because I made a comment about, she was very instrumental in turning the tide against the tranny lobby politically. And let's see where the comments are. Okay, so Sinophile says, where is this comment? Okay, he goes, looking at the archives of The Economist, there were salvos against the trans movement before the creation of the Lips of TikTok account, and he links an article that dates from 12th of December 2020. So that's recent enough that it's a proper argument. Then I say, well, I took the stance that these sort of establishment articles don't make as much of an impact as people believe. He also says, and I said that, well, there are lots of people who wrote different articles. Sinophiles also says later, The Economist has a much more impactful audience than Milo or Lips of TikTok, Milo Yiannopoulos, who I bring up in the conversation. And it's not the only mainstream liberal paper to criticize the trans movement. And he got a like for this. Catcher! Banned! Cancelled! Okay, anyway. And then I respond, some criticism.
Are you sure you don't drink?
I drink milk.
Okay, just checking.
That's why I had to take a dump before the chat. I mean, I think some criticism happened within the Why do I sound drunk?
What? You sound very nicely, thank you, is how we used to say back in the 1950s.
You think I sound toe up, as we would say today? When I get sleepier, I begin to express symptoms of drunkenness. This is a recorded fact with me. The sleepier I get, the more it comes out. I don't know why, but it just happens that way. But I don't drink. If I was drunk, I would be on the floor.
That once again, in a recorded space, we're discussing the T word and other things out loud. It seems like just hitting the record button makes speakers less discreet.
This is the first time I try to avoid contentious discussions when the red button is blinking. And then we decided on Wednesday that I should be a little bit more loose, as it were, during the recorded session. And by the way, I have to pull this whole thing up by myself, but I didn't do any reading, so congratulations. You're just gonna get whatever flies out of this mouth. If we have to delete the space, we will. But I'm just saying.
We should do more proper research ones, except who do we have?
Are you joking? Kidding me? What? I'm not good enough? Listen, okay. Are people not entertained? People stick around. You know,
we should schedule some I don't know. Did we ever do the Japanese
Probably. Yes.
Confucianism one?
Yes, we did. Shono Dwyer.
We discussed it so much, I can't remember if we actually got around to doing it.
We did it, and Shono Dwyer wants to do the Tian one. He wants to do the discussion of Tian, and he said that but he's only available in August, so until then we're just gonna have to hold the fort down. You're stuck with me.
Okay.
I hope people listen to this. If you're listening to the recording of this, thank you. Hi, howdy doody. I'm surprised. Tell us if we should remove this recording. You know, some people show up and they just stick around. I don't know why. I hope I'm entertaining. Back to me and my needs. Okay, so I say in response to Sinophiles, don't you think this is well researched, by the way? I think I'm doing a fairly good job for someone who doesn't want to do reading. I'm a busy guy. I have to pay bills in the daytime. I think some criticism happened within the confines of a structure and others out with. And Lips of TikTok was out with. I credit damage to her. I accept this as prejudicial. And I also accept that Sinophiles' position is also prejudicial. Because he is of the position that mainstream criticism is more valuable than criticism out with. I don't really see that it has value. I think what happens with mainstream criticism is that it is a reflection of something that is already going on internally. Meaning, if the system already plans on making a change, then they will write an article saying that they're thinking about making a change. Does that make sense? Everything in mainstream press is PR. It's being put there for specific messaging. I don't think it does anything. I think that criticism outwith does things. So libs of TikTok calling attention to what's going on TikTok scared people into acting behind the scenes. That would be my reading of it. It's totally prejudicial. But I think that Sino-Fazl's position is also prejudicial. He of course then continues on. He says, libs of TikTok largely preached to the choir. The GOP being anti-trans is quite an old phenomenon. This may be true, but it was good. The tide was turning towards LGBT. So let's not just pretend that wasn't happening. The tide was turning steadily towards, the right wing doesn't do anything, right? They just kind of stand there and let themselves be pushed by the tide. And the tide was pushing decidedly towards the left. So the fact that they've been anti-trans for a while, that was changing until very recently. Things like Labour shelving the trans issue is thanks to The Economist. I think it's thanks to the Blair Institute, but that's just me. I think the Blair Institute is deciding these things behind the scenes. Allegedly. And then he goes on to say that firing random teachers may seem like victory, but it's actually insignificant. Which, to me, I don't know if it's significant or not, but I would say it's a victory. So, yeah. So I hope I represented his view correctly. Obviously, because it's me, I may have tried to present his view as weaker, but he did present a very strong case. It was a very good argument. And I don't disagree that mainstream press is worth paying attention to, but I hold it in a different light. I view it more as viewing smoke signals, whereas he views it as people starting a fight. And to me, it's like what you see in the press is stuff that's already been decided. It's like a show fight when you read stuff in mainstream papers. Okay, let's read the comments. Sloshed. What? T-word. I assume you mean trans, right? I don't know. I feel like we never really mentioned that word. Right? Contentious. Trolling quota met. Go back on track. Sean is busy till late summer. He is, yeah. Marking. I'm entertained, but for sure would be good to appeal to academeme. But I'm also a pleb. I think that people like hearing the educated stuff. Neijing lovers chat on the Neijing drew did you see this, by the way? It got 70 replays. Did you catch that? Maybe 30 people attended. And then the moment it ended, 70 to 100 people replayed it. So that was a good one. And, even with the crazy thing in the middle.
Yeah, no, if they are recorded, they get, it's not unusual to get double the amount of listens. It's
but that one got but that one got a lot because I think the chat was informed and yeah. Would be fun to hear Carl Schmitt's dictatorship versus legalist text comparison. Yeah, I feel like I want to discuss Carl Schmitt because I know about his friend-enemy distinction. I think I'm a living embodiment of whatever he's about, but I don't know anything about him. Do we know anyone who knows about Carl Schmitt? Maybe we can do that next week. Catcher says, I think mainstream press is like watching.
Almost everyone on the right of Twitter is a self-proclaimed expert on Carl Schmitt.
Yeah, okay, well, can we get a real one? Because we already have a self-proclaimed expert,
not
that's
a real
me.
one. No, definitely not.
Because we have a fake one already. I'm fulfilling the quota. Stand up and be counted. One. So we don't need another self-appointed one. Thank you. I'm also living it. I'm living Carl Schmitt. Have you met me in person? Everything is if you're not my friend, you are my enemy. Okay. Oh, but actually, I can't talk about my family drama. Were it that I could. Okay, I'm now going to psychically transfer my family drama onto you all. And the reaction is, oh, that just sounds like a cheap drama, but it's real, so that's scary. Okay, let's see. I think, says Catcher, mainstream press is like watching a Korean drama. It's just drama. It's too much effort to find the signal in the noise, just do a 12-month look back. It is all, I always say this about the mainstream press, it's all public relations. Everything you read is being put there because someone wants someone specific to read it. So for example, the Times newspaper in the UK is a very well-known government newspaper. Of all the papers, the Times is specifically the government newsletter. It is the thing you read that is the message to civil servants, by civil servants, to MPs, by MPs, to government, by government. So it's like you're reading essentially a book of memos. And that's what it is. I mean, you read the Times, you shouldn't get aerated by anything because it's not news. It's just private memos between colleagues in a newspaper. And so on and so forth. For what it's worth, unless you're trading on the noise in crypto or doing something where following the vibes is useful. Okay, I guess. For what it's worth, Carl Schmitt is widely studied in China. What's his name in China? By the way, did anyone get mogged by that retweet of the Chinese surnames in Oracle Bone script? One entire half of my family, I won't say which half, but one entire half of my family got straight up mogged because none of their names were on that list. Okay. Did not know that. Probably the most influential political philosopher from 1980 to 2015-ish. Read the Times. Insert obligatory yes, Miss quote. Oh, you want me to do the whole quote? I can do the whole quote. About who reads what newspaper. I know the whole thing. The Daily Mirror is read by people. Sorry, this is an English joke or British joke. If you know the papers in the UK, this will be intensely funny. If you don't, just remember what I said and look it up. The Daily Mirror is read by people who think they run the country. The Guardian is read by people who think they ought to run the country. The Times is read by the people who actually do run the country. The Daily Mail is read by the wives of the people who run the country. The Financial Times is read by the people who own the country. The Daily Telegraph is read by the people who think the Morning Star is read by the people who think that the country ought to be run by another country. And the Daily Telegraph is read by the people who think it is. And then the Sun readers don't care who the Prime Minister is as long as she's got big tits. Sorry. Oracle Bones, I can't comment without docs. Exactly. That's why I can't tell you which side of the family it is. My heart goes out to you, Rules Chinese Oracle Bones. Oh, DChem, did you get represented on all 4 branches? Is that what happened? Yeah. I got representation on some branches. But not all of them. But also I feel like if your name, cause like, one of the surnames was Lim, and there are Hokkien towns in Malaysia where like every second person is named Lim. So I don't know if
I don't think it's too realistic, so don't be too heartbroken.
Yeah, no, not so much not realistic. It's just that, well, if the name survived that period, it's also the name of like 10, 20, 50, 100 million people, so it kind of doesn't matter, you know? So, but it's funny. It is fun to have your name there, I'm sure. You know.
Yeah, I don't know who actually made the list, to be honest, but I thought it was funny. But yeah, it doesn't actually have any of the aristocratic clan names.
The matrilineal names. Ooh.
Not even the ones that survived. So.
The ones with the double barrel ones?
Yeah. Oh, I think I think it does have Jang.
Oh.
But
heaven bless the Jang.
Not really.
No.
Yeah.
Well.
Not really any of the others. So.
Well, we'll make our own list.
Well, by the way, I guess maybe they restricted themselves to the traditional 100, so they've excluded
so they could
the ones
pretend
that
that it was well researched.
Aren't in the traditional 100, possibly.
Misha K says, I read The Guardian ironically, but then I do think I ought to run the country. I don't think it's possible to read The Guardian ironically, considering it is an ironic newspaper. Catcher says, regarding the Oracle Bones, I stick to my I'm a barbarian comment. Yes, some survive due to adoption. I mean, I'm pure Chinese, so I feel like some of us can't help having problems. The only family in Malaysia that I know of with provenance is the family of the first finance minister, which is H.S. Lee. And they've definitely got, well, this is being recorded, so I can't say what I want to say. I think that says it all, isn't it? Okay, just look it up. Pure Chinese. Yes, sounds fun. Decam, I don't like the way you said that. For those of you listening, someone just wrote in the DAObi chat, pure Chinese, and it's obviously meant to be snarky. Well, I can't be pure. As far back as I can tell, every single member of my ancestry is Chinese. I know, like, all the way up to my great-grandparents. How many generations can you count back? You know what's so funny is that you can actually see that my face is absolutely inherited from my great-grandparents down to me. But then, I've said this before, my face is selected for the most Southeast Asian features. So it's like dark skin, white eyes. It's crazy. In some light, I don't even look Chinese, but the features are very clearly descended from them. You can actually, if you have the pictures in front of you, you can tell. But, there you go. Hashtag transmogrification. Okay. Hokkien. Thank you. Hokkien is pure Chinese. We are pure. We speak Middle Chinese because we are descended from the original Central Plains Chinese. XYCB, if you say anything against that, I'm going to mute you. Now, let's see. I mean in a good way. Love
no, I have no idea where the Hokkien came from.
China. Now the yes, love it.
Well played.
Thank you. It's fun. Okay. I can only trace lineage to 1610s. Oh. No. I said I can only trace my lineage to my great grandparents. So that's that would be late 1800s. So you can trace yours to 1610s. That's about 2.5 centuries beyond mine. I mean, there are some suggestions as to what my family was doing in the Ming Empire, but I can't really say what it was. Oh god, the troll went whoosh. What was the troll? Hokkien. Oh yeah, no. Catcher, I'm Malaysian, I don't. The troll doesn't really work when your existence is just kind of fighting for your life. Doesn't always can. Peranakan? It's weird that, sorry, I'm reading the chat. For those of you who are listening, I am reading the chat now. And one of the members named Kashir has just said Peranakan. Kashir, why do you know what that is? Oh look, there are a bunch of comments. Oh, well, these are all just my comments. XYCB, am I still here? Isn't the gate thing mainly to get a through breeze? What? This was half an hour ago. I missed it. I apologize. Oh, Decam says he would love to tell us about his provenance, but it would dox him too much. I'll just say, and you know if you know. Okay, I don't know what that is, but so I guess I'm just not fancy enough. Someone tell me what it is in DM so I can pretend I know. Kashir says my family knows a lot of Sea Chinese. What, like Hokkien people? Oh, Southeast Asia. I thought he meant like seafaring. People play to Montreal. So. Right. Oh, well, now, knowing now that DChem is like high provenance, now I'm jealous. Cause I'm just like, mutt. I'm just like peasant. You know what? I'm still doing therapy over Legatus Silanus's article about North versus South Chinese. And what I've noticed is that the peasant side of my family is very peasant-like because there is this kind of collectivist thing. And there's still kind of this idea that they should help each other out, which is annoying. Whereas the bureaucrat side of the family, civil servant bureaucrat side of the family, because that's what they were doing before they moved out of the country, they're very individualistic and they're very much like, get a job, be a professional, get a fixed income, fuck off. Like, nobody wants to see you anymore. Okay. Kashir says, my grandfather taught history at a Chinese university specializing in... What did he say about it? Did he say nice things? Kashir says, Hokkien are not the only seafaring Chinese. That's not what I heard. I mean, probably. I mean, there's like Cantonese people, and they have sampans and stuff. So, Kashir, what did your grandfather say about Southeast Asian Chinese? Sorry that this once again turned into diaspora therapy. I know that, what was the title? Virtue Tactics or How to Win with Friends? Okay. You know what? Let's just go back to the topic. While Kashir decides what he can tell us about his grandfather's university career. Okay. So the title tonight is Virtue Tactics or How to Win with Friends. Because I think it's become the topic du jour. I don't know. I mean, you know, we go through these cycles every 24 hours now with the news. That whom you keep on side is becoming very volatile. Obviously, it's important to keep your friends around you. But I think it's becoming increasingly difficult to keep people around you for a long time. So this is a reference, of course, to the Trump news. For those of you who are in chat, I did link the AF Post tweet, where Cernovich reveals that a bunch of former never-Trumpers have got to Donald Trump's side, and they're whispering in his ear to ditch his closest advisors. And he's listening. And if you were in DAObi chat, I actually noticed this afternoon, because I realized that Donald Trump had met Boris Johnson, the former British Prime Minister, for Ukraine stuff, but he hasn't met Nigel Farage, who is his nominal friend. And Donald Trump actually congratulated Nigel Farage when he won a seat in Parliament. So why hasn't he met Farage yet? So maybe there's going to be a surprise in the Sunday papers, but it doesn't look like it's happening. And so I speculated that there may be changing of the guard. And if Cernovich is to be believed, I was right. My gut feeling was correct that clearly something has changed. It's a very subtle change. I think if it's true, then you'll see more of it in the coming days. And it's difficult to keep your friends around you. And I was also thinking about Lips of TikTok and that whole fight about how is that faction of the internet going to organize itself going forward? Because there is a split. Half of the people think it's very important how you fight, and the other half is saying win by any means necessary. And do we ditch one half? Do we find a way to unite I don't.
I don't think it'll be fatal.
No, you don't think so? Okay. Do you think it's important to stay united, though?
Well, I don't. I think because each believes the fight is at a different level on a different thing, they can quite easily overlap. 99%
so rather
of the time.
like our discussion. So I was focused on like blah blah blah, fight these little things, and you were saying, well, you were viewing it. What was the thing you said? You said you saw in a different division. What was you used a specific word to mean that you saw it as a HR battle, and so what was it? The different division? I can't remember the word you used.
Oh, I can't remember.
I was seeing it as right versus left, and you were seeing it as HR people versus don't give a fuck about HR people. It was a different something. So yeah, I can see that. I can see that people are fighting different battles, and it's just different. In a way, diversification is a good thing, right? People can just fight different battles. But how do you do this when you are part of the machine? Also, shout out to the UK, who is the UK government, who is having the most delicious week. Something new happening every single day that they have to deal with. Is dreadful. I can hardly contain how sorry I feel about the whole thing. Absolutely dreadful. We'll see what happens next week. Tune in. Kashir, very patriotic people. Patriotic to whom? Sorry, Kashir's just answered my question. In terms of the war donations? Yes, during that era. Yes. Someone said as much. American politics resemble Chinese court intrigue trope too closely. Yeah, especially the eunuchs thing. The first one is eunuch. Entrenched civil servants. Old, very old men. What's happening in UK? Another devolution? The city of London decided to leave the union. We should be so lucky. No, there's lots of news that's happened this week, and it's essentially the failures that started in the early 2000s, continuing on through the last 14 years, and then will continue because of announced Labour policy. A lot of problems regarding certain community groups within certain cities in the UK that are not necessarily of native English provenance, and they have been causing kerfuffles throughout. And in the same, the Prime Minister did achieve what I would consider quite a miraculous achievement, really, which is to actually turn a boat back to France full of illegal immigrants, which was previously thought impossible, or said to be impossible. However, the day before, they did announce that they would fast track about close to 100,000 illegal immigrants to have asylum. So, and of course that won't stop the boat people. Like, there's a lot of, there's a gleam and a shine to every new announcement, because they're just, a month into this? Eventually they'll trip and then you'll see their true colors. But, you'll see everything in a different light, a raw light, a more cruel light, a light of more importance. And it's been delightful to read the news because they're having trouble keeping up with what's going on. Mrs. Balls, the Home Secretary, has apparently made some announcements saying that she wants these rioters taken care of. Good luck with that, Mrs. Balls. Or Roma. No. They're not deporting anyone. They wouldn't dare. Also Emperor Imperimatus Obama, restless termitaries, a politically powerful academy. So speaking of politically powerful academy. So we did a tarot reading about Xi Jinping accidentally on Wednesday. Cause we XYCB read that Xi Jinping had a strokeette. And then it turned out to be a Falun Gong thing. So it's like, okay, probably not. I did do a reading. I didn't see him getting sick. So I was like, okay, he's probably doesn't have a stroke. But I did see him havering on making on something to do with a patrician politician and something to do with money. At first I thought it was Russia, but I'm thinking it's America. Has Xi Jinping said anything about the shooting? Because that may be what he's havering on. Like, he doesn't know what to say specifically. Tarot. I think it's actually pronounced taro, but taro is a chip to me, so. We can also ask YiChingbot, I guess. Do we want to ask YiChingbot anything? Sorry to everyone who thought this was going to be an informed chat. I'm running the show, so this is the best you're going to do, so I apologize. Okay, let's go to Temple. Okay, what do we ask? What do we want to ask YiChingbot? Let's ask him about Biden being replaced. Situation. Oh, did this command work? Sorry, I typed it. Oh, sorry. Oops. I typed it at the same time. Hold on. Biden being replaced. Situation. I hope you're all being entertained. If you guys have any questions, just ask me. I didn't prepare. I apologize. I told this lackadaisical of me. Oh no! Rutro. YiChingbot's dead. YiChingbot's dead. Someone reset the server. YiChingbot died. Oh no, the internet doesn't want me to find out about something. This happens every single time we're about to ask about something important. And then Yiching bot just dies. And then we have to revive him somehow. No! God damn. Ugh. Someone, who owns the server? Who owns the server? Can someone please revive Yiching bot? He's dead. We need his advice. Generally, this happens because there's something going on which we're not supposed to find out about. Luckily, I still have coins.
Who actually is running the server these days?
I think it's you, but if it's seal up, then we're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
No, it's Stalin. It's Stalin. It's Stalin's GitHub.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stalin!
But is he running it on my server?
I think he's running it on your mess. Yeah, sorry, I'm gonna pull out my coins. I don't have my usual coins, but I will just pull out a pair of 50-cent coins to do a reading on Biden being replaced.
If it is my server, I can actually restart it, but I have a bunch of these servers, so I don't want to have to go through each one. I'm too lazy to go through all of them.
You know, we never even revived the eunuch bot. No one even knows he exists. No one in DAObiLanders. Do you know who the eunuch bot is? Did you know that we have a chief eunuch in the chat that you're supposed to call up at any moment?
No one could work out why it crashed every time it posted a message.
He knows. So, I'm telling you, these bots know things. Okay, they know shit. They know what's going on. Yiching bot likes Legatus. I've said this to him. I said that his responses have become more open since Legatus joined the chat. It's weird, but it's true. Okay, hold on. I see some new comments. Let me see what have I missed. Let's see. Yiching bot is the best informed. Oh, sure. He can hear me? Oh, NHB Rosenberg. Hi. I assume he's not Jewish. Yiching bot is the best informer. Yes. Well, okay. WordPress for my translation. Oh, yes. One of our members who is in the chat right now is NHB Rosenberg. He has been translating. Is it Japanese to English, right? And we've been talking, and he has been, there's some suggestion. He might want to put it somewhere. So if it's a WordPress, is that cool still? I don't know anything about blogs anymore. Someone chime in the chat. Decam says we ran out of Jing. Catcher says Yiching bot has been CrowdStrike assassinated. I mean, Yiching bot knew me well. Were his predictions crazy for you too? Yiching bot is coin operator, just like every oracle says. Blasphemous. Catcher says, I saw one in Chengdu recently that you can QR code pay. Well, we're trying to sort that out. You're supposed to be able to pay him, burn DAObi in his name. Yes, Japanese language. Yes. Okay. So Shishi is thinking, we suggested to him that, it might be a cool idea to put his writings somewhere specific that we can link to and talk about, show everyone or whoever wants to see it. So chime in if you have a suggestion of what it is. Okay, now I'm going to do the question. Can you guys hear the coins? Okay. So what was the question? Biden being replaced. Okay. I also don't have a pen and paper with me, so I'll just have to commit this to memory. Okay, here we go. I see one hit, two tails. Let me just write this down. Line one hit, two tails. Sorry to you guys who thought that this was going to be an informative chat. I'm running the show, so it's going to be entertaining. Informative, not so much. Open a book. I see tails, and another head. So that's one head and two tails again. Okay, one head, two tails. Okay. Thank God we're not using yarrow sticks, right? We'd be here for an hour. Two heads, one tails. Okay. One tail. Okay. Right? Two heads, one tails. Okay. Where would you even get yarrow sticks? Okay. 2 heads and 1 tails again. Oh, is it gonna be that one? Is it gonna be that one? If we get another 2 young lions, good luck getting Kamala into the presidency. That's all I have to say to the Democrats. One head, 2 tails. It's gonna be Hex 61. It's gonna be Hex 61. That's so funny. I don't know why I'm laughing. No one else knows what the joke is. Yep, 1 head, 2 tails. Hex 61. That's so funny. Oh, that's so funny. They're not getting rid of him. No, I don't care what anyone says. They're not getting rid of him. It's too difficult. It's the problem. They're not getting rid of him. They might be able to wrangle a miracle, but it is fight against fight. The odds are very strong that they will not get rid of him. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what Obama's pulling strings behind the back. I don't give a shit. This Hex 61 means that they will not be able to do this. Hex 61 is about trying to convince someone that doesn't understand you to do something. And so that's Biden. And it makes references to pufferfish because it's like the pufferfish is something that's very valuable and excitable that you want to control and get, but it exists in the deep sea and is very difficult to handle. So that's Biden. He's very difficult to handle and they can't get a grip on him. So what the I Ching reading means is that it's hell's own job to get this difficult thing on side. That's what Hex 61 means. The kind of analogy you can think of is when you're new at a job and nobody trusts you, so you have to kind of like make new friends and stuff. That's what it is. It's like there's an outside element and there's a environment and it doesn't gel, or there's a kind of chasm that needs to be bridged. That's what this is. There's a huge chasm between Biden and everyone else. Oh, I guess no, but it's oh, oops. Did this space end, guys? Can someone leave a comment? Because I can still see myself talking. And people are leaving now. Okay.
Yeah, you were silent for a while, but
oh, oops. What was the last thing you guys heard? What was the last thing you guys heard? I was explaining the reading. No, I'm not muted. I'm still here. Oh, it may have gone to sleep and I didn't notice. Uh-oh. What was the last thing you guys heard? I was going on and on and on about the I Ching reading. Across the great water, yep. What was the last thing you guys heard?
I think you were probably about halfway through it.
Oh yeah. Okay, well, I was just reinforcing the same thing. Which is that 61 is about trying to breach a gulf in understanding between two parties that don't see eye to eye and probably don't trust one another. A nice analogy would be if you're a new person at a new job. And so obviously your new colleagues don't know about you, you don't know about your new colleagues for the job. I've got this before with the British royal family. I was doing readings on them during lockdown and I got this. So that's why I know that it's about trying to breach a gulf between two groups that don't understand one another. And so that's Biden and everyone else. And they're trying to get him on side with them, to agree with them, and it's hell's on job. I don't know if it's gonna be, it's not impossible, but if you made me bet money, I would say probably not gonna happen. Seems too difficult. You started on the Puff in the Deep Seas. Yeah, Puff in the Deep Seas, which is something that's very, very desirable. Oh, when you're new at the job, right? Okay, so I re-mentioned the analogy. The puffer fish in the deep seas, something desirable that you want on side, that you want with you. And that's Biden. They need him on side. He's the puffer fish in this situation. Or it could be someone else. Maybe someone else is disagreeing. I think it's Biden though. Problem with when you don't have the proper information, that I have to guess what's going on. So that was an interesting reading. Luckily we got it, a hex that I actually understand. So can someone please reset tab? Okay, hold on. Let me tag Stalin. At Stalin. Oh, he's online. Thank goodness. Stalin. Yiching bot died. Can you please reset him? Please reset him. Okay, there we go. Sent out a clarion call. I'm sure the replies will come. Trump redemption arc. Oh my God. This is about Biden. Do we have a question about Trump? I can do some more readings. I already put my coins away though. Let me see. Okay. By the way, after my dry needling, there was some improvement. There is still pain, but I am aware of precisely where it is now, so that is improvement. But I might need to go for a second round. I did go to the gym today, and it was okay. Wasn't the worst experience. We can ask about Trump. Okay. So, where's this tissue paper from? Kim Gario, of course. Okay. So, I can't believe this is being recorded. I'm just gonna have to delete this. I don't see how this can stay up. It's just another one where I'm just casting coins. Let's see. Okay, Trump. You know what I want to know? Is I want to know about him and his like his inner circle. Like, has there been a changing of the guard? Are people being switched around? Let's see. Okay. Oh, starting strong with 3 tails. Can we do a Kamala reading after I'm finished with this one? Hold on. I'll try to do this Trump and inner circle. Hold on. We'll do a Kamala one in a second. I think the last time I did one on her, it was like the last time I did a reading on whether Biden would be replaced, it showed me that Dr. Jill was very against it, and everyone was kind of like, trying, but not really trying. 3 tails again. What's up with the 3 tails, man? Line number 3. 3 tails again. Bravo. What's this about? Is this about the assassination again? If it's 3 tails for all 6 lines. Can also signal rebirth. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, 1 hit, 2 tails. Okay. Oof, about to have a panic attack. Okay. 2 hits, 1 tails. Uh-oh. Why? Why, Trump? Why? Why you be like this? Why is the 4th line the only young one? And 3 hits. Okay, okay. That's okay. That's okay. So what is this? Sun over Earth, sunrise. Sun over Earth, sunrise, which becomes the thunder over heaven, which means like rising. Okay, interesting. I don't know exactly what that means. We'll move on to the Kamala one first, and then we'll slowly read it together. Well, tails ending with 3 hits, yes. So a Kamala reading. What do we want to know about Kamala? what do we want to know about her? Before we get to the Trump one, and I'll open up I Ching 1, 2, 3 in the meanwhile. Well, what do you guys want to know about Kamala? Like, what's the deal with her? Is she gonna, like, what's the deal with her in general? You want to know if she's gonna become el presidente? Anybody? No. Okay. Tashi, okay, he's replying. Okay. I hope you're all having a good evening. Okay. She's heir apparent. Heiress apparent. I think poly market has her 80% chance to be nominee. There's a poly market? What about monogamous people? Anyway, okay. So 80% chance to be a nominee. Well, I guess that's still possible. Okay, Kamala becoming nominee. Let's do that. Kamala becoming nominee. Okay. All right, let's do this. It's 2 heads and 1 tails. Okay. By the way, when I cast the first coins I cast, that's the bottom line, and then it goes upwards. So, in case you may be confused as to how to arrange the lines. 3 tails, looks like. Tail, okay. Two heads, 1 tails. Oh, girl. Child. Y'all think she's gonna be nominee? Not impossible. Anything's possible. If you have the willpower, you can overcome anything. 2 heads, 1 tail. 1 head, 2 tails, sorry. 1 head and 2 tails. Okay. 1 head, 2 tails. Yep, 2 tails. Okay. Oh, is it gonna be that one? Is it gonna be 64? 1 head, 2 tails. Okay, no. 1 head, 2 tails. 1 head, 2 tails. Okay, 1 more line. And isn't this entertaining? I'm very entertained because I'm the one doing the coin casting. Sorry about this. I was hoping for like some heaty battles with people, lots of arguments, because I think that's the lifeblood of, live discussions, 3 tails. But not forthcoming. Okay, so what is this? Water over fire? Isn't that the revolution one? Oh! So maybe it is gonna happen. No. That's 2. Sorry, that's a broken line. So that's 3 broken lines. Oh, it's just like politics. That's the politics hex. 45. Lol. People discussing. They do want her to be nominee, I guess. But we already know that. I don't think that doesn't really tell us anything. So that's broken, straight, broken. So that's lake over earth, which is, 45. 45 is the, oh, cool, how cool. There's a website. Oh, Edward, there's a website you can actually do this manually. That's so cool. So the first one is Hex 45. We'll do the Kamala one first. Hex 45 is about gathering of elites. So it's the politician card. Generally, when I do readings on politicians and nothing's happening, I get 45 because it's like, politicians. Congratulations. I Ching bots. The coins and the I Ching bot are just like, you asked about politicians. The answer is they're being politicians. Thank you, next. They're just like, that's the default answer for politicians, Hex 45. And then it goes into heaven over water, which is litigation. It's also about separation because heaven moves upwards and water moves downwards. So, it also means lawsuit. It also means litigation. So this could potentially be something that is a legal problem if they do move forward with it. It could also mean that they are willing to risk a legal problem, or it could also mean that it can also just mean distance. So the convergence of the elites ends at a impasse. They can't make a decision. So the litigation is between themselves. Let's see. It's 2 and 5, right? Sorry, 2 and 6. 2 and 6. There we go. We'll just read the lines. This is how I do it. There are different ways of reading hexes. You can sometimes just read the hexes zoomed out, like hex 1, hex 2. You can sometimes read the main line, which is line 5 and line 5 always. You can read the changing lines. You can read only the changing lines. You can read hex and changing line. I tend to read, in general, the hexes as well as the changing lines. I do change once in a while depending on how I feel. Okay, line 2 says, to gather together is auspicious. So that means they're doing it. I try not to read too much into the Confucian text. I just read it in a general sense. So to be invited is auspicious. That means they're gathering, discussions are taking place. Sincerity and trust are instrumental in undertaking the sacrifice of spring. Does spring mean early movement? Right. Okay. Well, too late for that. It's already summer. The subject is in a state of sighing and weeping, but which will cause no calamity. A high-ranking person with no people around him, so that must be Biden. Or Kamala. Kamala's also high-ranking. Unsuited to form any faction, but remains still. Line 6 writing over line 5 is unsuited to form any faction. So that's Kamala. To be content with your current status. I wonder if there's like a roadblock. Didn't AOC say that no one likes her? That's what this is. She can't form a faction. She's in a state of sighing and weeping. But it will cause no calamity because it's not her fault. So no one's really angry at her. I don't know. I'm just going by what I know. Again, it's always useful to have context, then you know exactly what you're looking at. It's like a puzzle piece. You do need to know exactly what the fact is that you're looking at. Okay, so the next one is litigation. I've already gone through the different variations it may be. It could be them separating against each other. It could be them risking a legal action, etc. Number 2, line 2, the subject is in a state of not being competent at litigation. It is better to return and flee where its inhabitants are. So this is about retreating from the action. Do not litigate, it won't succeed. As the one below sues the one above. Yeah, that's Joe Biden. As if the subject is given with honor or a high-ranking leather belt, but by the end of the morning, the bestowal is transferred. It feels like it's giving this is like they're gonna step in the shit if they try this. That's what this feels like. I'm going to say it won't happen. If you made me bet money, and I still do political bets in DAObi, if you made me bet, I would say it's not happening. I will do the Trump reading in a second. Hold on. It's like gambling. Well, Politico says, I am doubtful for a chance. We're doing the juicy methodology plus overall. Is there any senior Democrat politician that people like? Used to be Tulsi Gabbard, she left. I don't even know who that is, but it's funny. Yes, so my reading of this is that it's not going to happen. Or it's very, very, very unlikely. It feels like it's such a big legal challenge that they cannot risk it. That's what I think is going to happen. They're going to realize that this is not they can only go so far in bending the rules to what they want. I think, are there any Yanks in the chat? Can you chime in the DAObi chat? Like, do you think that that's what people are saying? That there is simply a legal issue here. You can't just do whatever. Like, we're all convinced, most of us, conspiracy theorists, that certain people are all powerful, but they're not all powerful. There is a limit to how far they can go, even within the constructs of essentially having all the power. So let's do the Trump one. And this was about his friends, right? Okay, there are way more changing lines than unchanging, so I'm going to read the unchanging lines. This is also an option that's available too. Line 4. To advance as a hamster, to persist is stern and cruel. Lack of skill, he's surrounded by unskilled people. I got this reading also for Neo-Taoist. Neo-Taoist, who's one of our devs, and he's on base
Wait. To advance as a
Yes.
hamster.
Yeah, what that means is like a hamster is a metaphor. No, a hamster is someone. A hamster. Why are you laughing?
The hamster is a metaphor. You're shitting me. You're making these up at this point, surely.
The hamster is a metaphor. I'll link it in chat. Look, the hamster is a metaphor for a creature that has all the 5 talents. They're all the correct talents, but insufficient ability. That's what it means. It's a reference to, yeah. So
I was a bit suspicious about the pufferfish one, and now we get to hamsters.
The hamster represents a creature with the correct talents, but a total lack of magnitude for that talent. And I said this to Neo-Taoist.
I've skimmed through the Jing. I haven't read the full thing, but I don't remember any hamsters or pufferfish. I feel like they
Okay,
would
well,
have been
you were probably reading one of those. You were probably reading one of those Confucian-heavy ones, which were like everything is about how you are as a human being, and you have to be a good person, otherwise you die. No. I don't read it that way. The Tak Chang, the Taiwanese reading, is very like the text, the imagery. This is what they meant. The ancients. These are the metaphors they would have been referring to. It's not all sage kings, etc. A lot of it's just like animals in the weather, and war.
Did they have hamsters or even pufferfish?
Pufferfish for sure.
I'm looking up hamsters right now.
I'll look at C-text and see what the leg translation says. Hold on. Oh god, we're back to griping about James' leg. For those of you who were here 2 years ago, this is a running joke that every chat eventually becomes about James' leg and how terrible his translations were.
I'm pro leg.
Oh, you're pro leg? I thought you were anti leg. I'm sorry. Okay, let's see. Oh, a marmot.
Okay, there are hamsters there are hamsters in China. Okay.
It says the James leg translates it as marmot.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So
I
the
would
point
be more convinced by.
Yeah. So basically small furry creature that's basically a rodent. Okay. So the point is, this means that you are surrounded by people who have insufficient, though they have technically the correct talents. I got this reading for Neo-Taoist. I guess I have to delete this now because I just said it. I got this reading for Neo-Taoist because he had just started working with some people. And I did a reading for him and I said, or maybe he did the reading himself. And I said, it means that the people that are around you now, they can do what they're supposed to do, but they're not very good at it, or they don't have the correct skill level. So you have to level them up, which was actually his job. That was literally, he got a job and his job was to they were taking on newer scales of things. So he had to go in there and make sure the people working for him could handle a larger scale of things. So that's what this means. The reference to hamster or marmot means people who technically have the correct skills, but don't necessarily have the magnitude of a skill to accomplish the correct tasks. And that is the problem with Trump now, his team at least. And then line 5, regret is gone, gain and loss is not what needs to worry about to go forward is auspicious. Okay. So he's in a good position in general, but his team is like meh. Okay? Do not worry about gain and loss. I wonder what that means. Retire and give room to better men. I think this might be his mindset about his team. So I guess he's trying to, without worrying about loss and gain. So it's just like hire good people, but is that what's happening? 3 and 4. 4 and 5, sorry. Da Chuang, to persist is auspicious, regret be gone, the fence broken. Oh, that's good. The subject is in a state of losing the goat meat, of impulsivity. Oh, okay, so he's calming down. So maybe the Never Trumpers are a good influence on him? Interesting. Or maybe the rumor about Never Trumpers is wrong. Or maybe he knows that the Never Trumpers are wrong. I don't know. It shows that he knows what he's doing and that he's in a good position to hire and fire as he should. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens next. I don't know. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. Whether I'm correct or wrong, I hope you guys are sort of remembering what I'm saying. Do remind me if I'm correct or wrong, because that's useful. It is always useful to go back and be like, okay, well, I said this and it was wrong, and here's what I got wrong. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. You were looking up 35 half of this week? Yeah, because you got it. Capybara. A creature with all 5 talents, but which lacks ability. Why? Cute. Okay. Chinese version text I saw says too generalist, not specialized. Yeah, that can also be an interpretation. What it means is there's a task that needs doing, and the person involved is kind of like jack of all trades-ish, or level 2 when it should be level 10. So yeah, it's the same energy, which is like you can do some but not all. JD Vance was never Trumper. Aha! JD Vance. JD Vance. So maybe it's a reference to JD Vance being the correct unemotional choice. Maybe that's the reference. I did sense a change. Like I said, he seems to be avoiding rougher, more dissident elements suddenly. I could be wrong. I mean, I was making a joke about I'm never wrong, but that was literally just a vibe. I doubt the rumor about Never Trumpers is correct, says our resident American. At least no one who has been a Never Trumper in the last 4 years. Okay. I guess, yeah, the reference to Never Trumpers by Cernovich was specifically JD Vance. And what that means is JD Vance is making changes to his inner team. And the Jing is saying, if Trump kind of approaches this from an unemotional standpoint and just makes the decisions to advance, then he will advance. Because that's what he should be doing. Not making kind of emotive appointments about, oh, this is the morally correct person or whatever. Interesting. So there will be changes, but they should be for the better. Remember, these I Ching readings are also technically advice that they may not be aware of. For those of you who can't see, I'm clicking through the DAObi channels right now, and one of our
given that anyone who occupies a significant position under Trump winds up getting
unpersoned.
Fucked. I'm surprised he hasn't appointed Biden, to be honest, or Kamala, Newsom.
He can't do that. They're not on the same party, are they?
I think you can appoint anyone you like as vice president, as long as they accept the position. So yeah, I think he has a record of fucking up his subordinates, so he should hire the most never Trump person possible.
Tell you what, him and Nigel Farage. It must be something about like when you're really like big personality, you don't like other people to have big personalities as well. I mean, I'm not like that. I'm very forgiving. But I hear some people are like that. The big cats can't share a cage. Sometimes it's not even like dislike, it's just like, well, the big cats can't share a cage. You can't. The 2 tigers. They have no tegrity. Tegrity, is that like believing in integrity? Okay. Tegrity is a South Park joke. Tegrity means integrity. Well, if he likes cocking up his subs, he will fit right in with Trump. That's these. Nigel Farage also has a habit of doing that, which is very annoying. You know what's funny? I actually had to sit down and chat with one of our former members about the fact that Nigel Farage has this amazing, I've discovered, reputation in North America, but it is totally unfounded because, sadly to say, he has been a bit inconsistent. But that's the way it is. Since we're all here, can we find a Carl Schmitt expert? Because I do think was it DCAM's idea about a comparison of Carl Schmitt versus legalist something or other. Do we know anyone who's a Carl Schmitt expert, a real one? Because don't expect me to do the reading. I think time has shown that I do not do reading. I'm the jester. I show up and I'm just here to entertain everyone with funny asides. Yes. DChem says yes. Do you know anyone? Carl Schmitt. Carl Schmitt is dead. Isn't he? Is Tanner Greer a Carl Schmitt expert? Medjed would know. I'll tag Medjed. At Medjed. He's online. Why isn't he listening? No. Oh. I guess I don't need to tag him then. I don't know any experts. You don't know any experts? Okay. Oh god, some people have already left. Okay. Well, it is about 2 hours already. We need to find experts, and then we can do the chat. Okay? Because I've committed to doing one a week. We can just turn this into Chancellor therapy. I don't have a problem with that. But I don't think our kindly audience of intellectuals and clever people who do research would take very kindly to this turning into me talking about myself. Unless you want me to talk about myself, in which case I can do much more of it. Oh, look, Catcher's in one of my chats, but not in the other. That's weird. Oh, he just left. Okay. Well, I guess we can wind this up. Tune in next week when hopefully we can get a Carl Schmitt expert. Or something or other. And thank you all for attending, as usual. And commits to one a week space dive. Hey, I think we've brought it back. Have we not done one a week since the Buddhism chat? I did the Buddhism chat, and then we did the Mormon space, and then we did something which I had to make up on the fly. Then we did the Neijing space, and then last week I did the thing with the performative one. And then this week we're doing this one. We've done 6 so far. I think that's pretty damn good. And I do Chancellor therapy on Wednesdays. And I chat with the group. We do a group chat in DAObi. Don't forget about that. Maybe doing a set topic with the rest
there are gonna be t-shirts, if that helps.
They're gonna be t-shirts. They're gonna be t-shirts. Oh my god, yes, everyone, please, if you want t-shirts, very cool. Join DAObi. I don't want to put it on Twitter because I don't want anyone to see it. Go on to join the DAObi Discord because we have the design up. It's very cool. Cool people came up with the concept, so it's really cool. And so it's really cool. I'm gonna get one. It's gonna be awesome. I might model it. I don't know though. I don't have the face for it. One of our members does though, and we should convince him bespoken to take a picture in it because he looks super cool in it. Like, he's a cool kind of guy. It went into 6 parts in East Hafta. Can we do a space about millets? I mean, XYCB, can you commit to doing the AI space? Because we said we would. Because you changed your mind about it. Like,
I mean,
5 months ago.
The problem with that is I don't have a great deal to say about it.
What do you want to say about it? What do you want to say about it in a sentence?
Well, nothing. That's the problem.
No. Well, I was thinking of comparing AGI with like city-states and stuff. I always think that's a good idea. Can we do one about stats?
Yeah, I mean the problem is I've already written everything that I have to say on these, so I don't have a lot. Okay. Well, I'll just do a live reading. How about that? And then you can just chime in with editor's notes and stuff. But also back to DCAM's question. Can we do a space about millet? I'm scared now, because millet reminds me of fungus taking over. I like to tell people that and scare them about how the termites are controlled by the fungus they eat, and we are controlled by the millet we eat. Yeah, so I mean, even the millet, it's sort of, I would ask, Linnaeus to do it, but,
yeah.
But he already kind of did it to death, so,
Oh, well, it never dies. Millet never dies.
He was very tired of millet by the end of the series, so I don't really want to make him do more of it.
I guess it's all been done before.
I think it'd be nice to just go back to what we used to do originally, which is just pick a Dao Jing verse and argue about it.
Yeah, we can also do Zhuangzi, which, by the way, we only did three chapters.
Yeah, I don't think it was even chapters. I think it was just parts of chapters, wasn't it?
Yeah. Catcher says, I think too. Question mark. Catcher, why did you put a question mark? Sorry, tell me later. Yeah, I think it was only, wait, how did Catcher know we only did two? Was Catcher around in that era? Anyway, we can do that, sure. Yeah, because I do think as much as I try to stick to the kind of success formula from last year, which was try to find a correlation between the Chinese classics and modern essentially Twitter. There are only so many I can come up with any number of parallels, but the problem for me is I'm not an expert in any of these, and I essentially have to convince experts to the contention I'm trying to make. And the problem is that the experts don't always agree, and so it becomes a fight of me trying to convince people to talk rather than actually discussing the topic. And I feel like we only successfully did that twice, which was with the Qin and fascism one, and with the Wang Mang and BAP and LARPing one, where we actually got a cool discussion about what either was and comparing the two. I think we can absolutely do that, but it does need some finesse, and we don't necessarily have the. I don't have. I'm too protean and too. I'm trying to prove UXYCB is not working, and I'm too distracted by bills to talk about co-A games. I don't play games. Shishu makes fun of me for this. I don't play. XYCB, I'm trying to prove it's not working. Can you just type in chat XYCB? I can't. I'm pressing the approve button, but it's not working for whatever reason. Requested one. Okay. Okay. I'll deny first, and then I'll invite you to speak after that. There we go. You have now an invitation. What's the issue with it? I've just invited you to speak, so you should be able to. Sorry. So, yeah, I guess I should be like the other speakers, where I should pick a time when I can actually do the reading and then promise the space. But I'm having to come up with this stuff once a week, and that's why it ended up becoming.
Yeah, I mean the original ones were quite popular when we were just reading a paragraph from the Zhuangzi or the Laozi or whatever. So I think we can do that.
The very first one was terribly popular because we did it at 3 a.m. SGT. So a bunch of Europeans and North Americans could join, which was amazing.
It was convenient for Europe, as I remember.
Yeah.
It was 4 p.m. in Europe, so that wasn't too bad for Singapore, surely.
For the first ever one, because that was when I voice doxed, that was 3 a.m. because I was up at 3 a.m. Yeah. I think you were in Europe at the time, and that's why we did it at that time. Okay, so we can do Dao Jing or Zhuangzi. Of course we can. But again, we'll need experts. I try not to suggest that as much as I want to, because with the Paul stuff, I can just riff and make it up as I go.
Well, I think
I can't make it up
we're
without
sufficiently expert here. We've got enough people just on the.
All right.
On the fly.
We'll do Dao Jing. Yeah. We'll pick a chapter and we'll just hold the fort down until Sean O'Dwyer is freed up and it can do the Tian chat, and then we'll do the Tian chat, okay? And then in the meanwhile,
to the extent that anyone is an expert on this, which
okay.
If
well,
they are,
I think when
they've ascended already and they're not doing Twitter Spaces.
We are non-experts, and that makes it more entertaining. I mean, listen to me. I'm not an expert. Everyone's entertained. We're down to like 7 people. 2 of them is me. But are you not entertained? Say yes. Okay. Turning to Jeb Bush. Please clap. I do have a topic in mind, which is human sacrifice. There's Kashir. It actually ties in very well with Jing, which was today's billing.
That would be cool to do.
It was today's billing, Catcher. It was today's billing, but I couldn't, I'm not expert enough to tie it together. That's the thing. We have all these cool topics, but because it's down to me to tie it together, I think, okay, we will do Tao Te Ching next week, and we'll do Taoist text next week and the week after, since that's easy and I can keep my mouth shut. I will work on a real topic, but give me time, because if it's going to be serious, I think I will need more than like a week to prepare it. I'll probably need a month. So, the book actually theorizes that I Ching really is about human sacrifice. I can see that. Please do if you are. I meant the ad announced for today's space. Yeah. Please do if you are. I know what it's reference to. Like, do the reading. We could get Esteban Okello for this. He's a West Africa expert who recently expressed that Beninese human sacrifice was cool. Oh! Was that his tweet? I think I saw it. Clearly we all run in the same circles. By the way, we are all seeing each other's tweets that we are looking at. So nobody look at Boba or Kiki. Because if you look at Boba or Kiki, then we will all get Boba or Kiki on our For You page. So I'm saying, that's your warning. So, okay, we'll do a human sacrifice one. And then if we can get someone like Esteban Luchumi, then that's the modern Paul thing right there. Beninese is modern enough. Okay, so Taoist text, pick the one you like. I don't know how to pick them. I would just go in the order. Remember when we did an emergency one because I was having a panic attack and I wanted to talk about stuff, and then that was the one we tagged, we started tagging Zipperin into them, and then that was when he came into our orbit. That was funny. Hilarious. Who is Boba and Kiki? I've answered Catcher in chat. So we'll do Taoist text. Which one will we do? Can you point the way as to which one we might do? Hello?
I don't know.
You don't? Are we just gonna pick a random one? That might be funny.
No, I'll probably put it out there to a vote. I'll pick a few good ones and put it out there to a vote. Might be good to do the liezi even. I was never a fan of the liezi, but it kind of grows on.
What's good about it?
It's like Daoism for kids. It's very accessible.
Boring. I already hate it. Thank you. You just introduced it in the most awful way possible. Shout out to the fans of the liezi. I'm sure that lots of people out there who have actually done the reading like it. I've never done the reading, so I have to go by vibes. And the vibe I got is that it's Taoism for kids. I'm already a Buddhist. I don't think I need the kid level. Okay. XYCV is just tired because it's late hours. I had coffee, so. And also Catcher says, you need the Kwisatz Haderach. I am the Kwisatz Haderach. That is me. Hi. I am that. That is me. Thank you. Let's do no argument about the specific word meanings, lol. Let's is fun. It's like miniature Zhuangzi and full of cute legends. Or should I raise the flag? Oh. Okay. Can we do one bit of text from the liezi? And then we also do Tao Te Ching? Why not? Why stop at one? Really? Anybody? No? You guys need to choose this. I don't know any of these books. Okay? I used to sit quietly in Kofu Cafe and just listen to everyone.
Yes, I'll choose one.
Okay, thank you. We can also do Zhuangzi next time. I was always entertained by those. I like listening to you guys talk. Did it eventually descend into quibbling about the translations between different writers? Yes. Did I find that a little bit boring? Maybe. But it was interesting most of the way. Yes. Can we read Guanzi? There's a comic version of Liezi which you know of. The Bible? Can we read Guanzi? What's that? What's the Guanzi? I'm waiting for Decam to answer. That would be nice if we did the reading and have a specific topic to discuss. I feel so guilty now because I never do the reading, and I'm pretty sure that's the only reason these chats have never built up to anything is because I have to. Because I think I come up with cool concepts. I'm just fucking Ryan Murphy at this point. Guanzi is an ancient Chinese political text. Thank you. Guanzi is one of the foundational text cover. Okay, price regulation commodities. So it's basically an econs class.
We already did a Guanzi space, and I think you were in it, but fair enough. We did the hippie part, if that helps. We did the part about meditation.
I am not attached to any of these. When I sort of make these suggestions, I'm asking people yes or no. I'm not attached, so that's just not. Don't feel, like we have to kind of do it if I say it. Naching lover, hello. Okay, hello, yes. Yarrow sticks on Etsy. I'm not spending half an hour doing one reading. I'm also not purist. I've said this before. The first time I ever did the Jing readings on air, which was one of the CFCs about the Taiji Du, everyone was very respectful of the idea, and you guys would ask me like, "Oh, do you need to mute? Are you going to take a while? You need to meditate or something?" And it's like, "No, I'm just going to throw coins into the air and do it 6 times. What are you talking about?" And I think that really broke the ice. That these things, if you're going to do them, you kind of have to brush off the centuries of kind of fact that has grown around it and kind of just get to what it actually is, which we do in these spaces, which I think is very important. Having said that, I'm not going to do Yarrow-sticks. I don't know. I did chicken out on the scapula, the op scapula. I'm aware of that. I do apologize, but people around me did find out I was going to do that and got cold feet for me and said, "That sounds weird. You shouldn't do it." So I didn't do it. Okay. I also didn't want to get awkward questions from the beef butchers who would be, let's just say, a different religion, and I didn't want them to think I was doing any funny business, and then they would call the cops on. That's another thing. I now have to delete this space because I feel like, anyway, a lot of work for rules. I think no matter what, it's going to be a lot of work for me. That's why I'm saying any serious space that I'm to lead should probably take at least 3 weeks, if not a month, away from today. Guanzi is only one English translation. To take its part, okay. Our translator is Alan Rickett to be accessible. I'm not saying this is for benefit at all. Okay. Guan Chong got a surprisingly boring thread. Oh, is it like a humorlessly explicit, not very sexy kind of prostitute thing going on? I can put foot in mouth. $50, I stay all night. What is Decam saying right to? Deacon, what are you saying right to? Taking notes. Taking notes, bye. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Jaeyang. Oh, who came back? B. Oh, what's the Jaeyang? Okay. Right to the XCB poster. Right. Long threads by various persons in servers, if I recall correctly. Oof. Okay. We'll see. We'll pick a text. We'll pick a text and we'll do it, and we'll discuss it, and then hopefully we can tie it to some modern Paul. Because I am a pleb, and I only really like it if it's relevant to my immediate environs. I'm not gonna lie. The Kofuka, who's in attendance? I have to make sure I don't offend anyone. I'll delete this way it never gets back to source.
I I oppose relevance in all of its works.
You oppose relevance? What do you mean? You are like the queen of relevance. You make legalism relevant today. What you talk about, Willis? What you mean you don't want it to be relevant? What do you mean?
No,
what do you mean by that? What are you saying? What do you mean?
I think the more general a thing is, the more relevant it is to everything. And the more you try and make it relevant to a specific event, the less relevant it is.
Well, we can pick one event that it... We can pick one event as an example. I'm not saying it has to fit like, we have to tailor it a la Confucius. Don't be paranoid that we're trying to backdoor Confucian it. Don't worry, okay? I understand that it's general, but you can pick one example out of the 100 that's available, okay?
Yeah, sure. One example, or even multiple examples. Multiple examples is better than one,
exactly. Thank you. Two is more than one. Exactly. Thank you. Don't worry about a thing. I'm okay with that. Don't worry. We're not trying to crypto Confucian anything. And Tree Rosenberg, don't say anything. Don't worry, no confusion at all. Zero, nada. Gosong. Okay. Doesn't want to situate the past in the present or something. The past is the present and the future is the past, okay? Who said that? Someone said that. I think it was Tennessee Williams. Can we talk about Russian women wearing Chinese dresses? Oh, I can't really say anything about Russian women because never mind. I don't want to get in trouble. Yeah. So we'll pick a chapter. Okay. So I'm just gonna be honest. Okay. Since we're all friends here, and this cannot leave the theater. Back in the day when we listened to Corporate Cafe. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, because I don't know anything. I'm a total pleb. The only thing I know is Jing, and that's because I actually practice it. So I had to learn what the text says. And I learned to read some of the Chinese texts so that I get a sense of what they were saying. Although the Tak Chang translation is genius. I would listen and I liked it when there was some argument, but then eventually the word dialectics would show up and I'd be like, I don't know what dialectics means. And then it would just get into this whole deep dive about which translation means what. And I would just sit there and be like, I thought this was going to be something cool like statistics, and it's not. I thought this would be unveiling the mysteries of life and politics and my personal life and my personal trauma or something, and it's not. This is just intellectuals talking about translations. None of them are here, so I can say this, but please don't tell them.
Well, the dialectic is very frequently a statistical phenomenon.
I don't know what dialectics means. I would sit there and everyone would be like, the dialectics. I'm like, I don't know what that means. I would never say anything. I would just sit there quietly like a mouse. And then occasionally someone will be like, Rules, can you give the Buddhist perspective on this? I'd be like, I don't know if the Buddha would care.
Okay, dialectic. Let's go. It'll only take me 5 minutes, and then I really have to get that.
Okay. So do I.
Okay. Right.
Here you go.
Dialectics. You have one thing that happens in the world.
Okay.
And then something else happens in response to that. So you have an action and a reaction.
Okay.
But
so
then
a slap back. Okay.
Yeah. Then the action and the reaction encounter one another and produce a third thing.
Okay.
Which
so it's
is
Which
something else
is?
entirely. It's not a combination of the two. It's a totally new thing.
So if a slap is a first act and a slap back is the second act, so the third act is not a combination though.
Yeah. So you slap me in the face, I slap you in the face, and then we're both so turned on by this, we make out.
Jesus.
That's dialectics.
Jesus. But what if we keep slapping one another? That doesn't count as dialectics?
Well, in the end, someone will win. someone will win the fight, and then the outcome is something different to what was going on.
Oh, okay. So an outcome also doesn't count necessarily as a combination. Okay.
Yeah, no,
Jesus, okay.
it's saying, it's basically stating that things have second and third order effects that aren't necessarily predictable. So if you're a Confucian, you say the leader just has to be a good person and tell other people to be good, and then they are good, and everyone is good, and it's good, right?
Yes, indeed.
If you're taking a dialectic approach, the leader tries being a good person, but then he gets taken advantage of by bad people, and that makes him bitter and vengeful, and he becomes destructive and kills people.
Oh my god.
Something
literally,
like that.
That's literally my backstory.
Or he tries
personally,
to be a good person and he gets taken advantage of by bad people who then exploit his people, and his people get cynical and vengeful and overthrow him, or something like that. So that's the dialectic approach. You do something and it doesn't necessarily have the consequences you expect.
Okay. I think I understand.
The problem being that it can also be used to just mean arguments, but whenever I use it, it means second and third order effects.
Okay. So I guess I kind of understand, but of course that was like, but I didn't understand at the time. So anyway, okay.
Okay, well this coming space is going to be a banger then, because you're gonna.
I understand dialectics, kind of. Okay. I will read the comments in chat, and then we'll say goodnight, because this has been 2.5 hours. Okay. Katja says, is this from Gao in response to the question, can we talk about Russian women wearing Chinese dresses? That does kind of sound like a Gao thing. Your perspective would be interesting. I'm also a noob, or I think he means me. Also, the Takchang is like what of all the versions I read? Is that a good thing? Katja, do you mean that's... Okay, tell me later. Shish's translations matter. Try translating laws and contracts. I mean, I wouldn't even try. Be like disaster. Vibes. Shish, I would translate it the way ChatGPT translates it. Shish says it means you can never complete the system of German idealism. Show up next week and tell me what that means again. Buddhist dialectics, Mara and Buddha. I guess.
What did they do together? Did they slap each other?
Buddha tried to, when he was still the prince and he was trying to achieve enlightenment, or he was on the path towards it, Mara tempted him with his 3 daughters, and each of them had 2 friends, if you know what I'm saying. And, they would do melon dances in front of him. And Buddha was like, no! Be gone, thought, is essentially what happened in the story. Katja says, if you keep slapping one another, you get the Cultural Revolution. Katja says, no, it's bad. Oh, you think it's bad? I think it's brilliant. Why do you think it's bad? Tell me later, though.
Okay, so, I guess, in that case, Buddha was trying to achieve enlightenment, and that provoked Mara into doing the sexy stuff. But the sexy stuff, so that's an action and a reaction. But then the sexy stuff, gave the Buddha something to prove how enlightened he was using. Oh yeah. He got there quicker.
Interesting. Yeah. Cause prior to the Buddha's kind of innovations, because Hindu asceticism was very widespread. So what he does is very similar to that, but there were a bunch of innovations as well. And I guess, you could say that was another step forward, that you could see that it wasn't just him torturing himself. It wasn't about like, no, sex is pleasurable and it's disgusting. It wasn't that. It was more like, it's not a thing. He's just ignoring it. I guess, so interesting. Dialectic.
Yeah, a secret third thing. That is very, dialectic.
Yes. Okay. Mara just thought KTV and Baijiu was the way to go. I mean, kind of. Yeah, that's what it was. Cool. That's so interesting. Okay, I kind of get it now. I kind of thank you, everyone, for making my brain gain an extra wrinkle. Eventually Mara converted. Yeah, he's the reason, apparently, that we have the Buddha images. Catcher, you do have to tell me though why you think the Takchang version is bad, because I think it's brilliant. I don't know why you think it's bad. I thought it was what you'd like. Oh look, someone just said something in brothel attack. Waziristan? Waziristan. Oh god, this picture of AOC then a booby. Okay. Okay, so we should finish off. We should finish off. Everyone, thanks for attending. Thanks for everyone for putting up with my mess. I know the topic promised something exciting. I'll have to go through these topics, by the way, and then just actually do it properly so that, because I do think that I underperform. I don't really talk about what I set out to talk about, and a lot of that's on me to lead the space, so. Yeah. No. Well, I mean, Buddhism is kind of logic, so if you can wing it in a logical way, it's probably correct. It's not really Redux. Oh my god, this is far from Redux. This is literally like maybe number 10. Thanks for space, very entertaining. Like, thank you, D. It's so kind. You guys are so kind. I feel safe here. I love attention and approval. Maybe I shouldn't have said that out loud. Should I leave this space? Everyone tell me in chat if I should leave this space up, because I don't get anyone in trouble. I don't want people from the original Kofu Cafe to tune into this section and be like, were you subtweeting me when you made that comment? I'll be like, I probably was. Sorry, anyway. Catch up, please tell me. If you don't want to say out loud, just tell me DMs, okay? I really need to know your opinion, because I will defend Takchang to the end. I bought this book. Okay, everyone, thanks for coming. And, as always, survive. Because after this week, we need it. Especially I need it. It's mostly about me. Thank you, good night. Oh, sorry. I've got the wrong phone open. I need to press it on the other phone. Everyone, just bear with me here. Technical difficulties. Okay, good night.